Hey everyone, the 49ers have made a couple moves on this day off, this Tuesday. We like to call it laundry day to get reset. They've brought back quarterback Kurt Benkert to the practice squad. So that must mean that a lot of Packers fans will be watching this video. Benkert, formerly of the Packers, he is very popular with their fan base. And I think that he developed some popularity with the 49ers fan base during his first stint with the team, which ended just a few days ago. The 49ers needed to make room for a backup kicker just in case Robbie Gould wouldn't be able to go against the Atlanta Falcons. It turned out that Robbie Gould was healthy, good to go. So the 49ers released Buddy Johnson and Sam Sloman. Sam Sloman is the kicker that they had signed, and they brought back Kurt Benkert. The other practice squad spot that the 49ers filled up today is another old friend, cornerback Kadar Hallman. Hallman, a Toledo product. He's been a journeyman in the NFL. Fast guy, 4.4 40. Actually was teammates with Samuel Womack III in college at Toledo. So Hallman and Kurt Benkert are in tow. Buddy Johnson and Sam Sloman are released. If you'd like an illustration of what the 49ers did today, here you go. Here is our 49ers depth chart and 70-man roster. Kurt Benkert, you will see, is up here. I just highlighted that top row, the quarterback position. He's on the practice squad, so he's QB3 right now because Trey Lance is done for the season on IR. They're going to have three quarterbacks again at practice after a few days of only two. That's Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, and Kurt Benkert. And then we scroll down to see the 49ers' second signing today, Kadar Hallman. That's going to be in this bottom part of the 49ers depth chart. Hallman is a cornerback. The 49ers have Charvarius Ward and Ambry Thomas on top of the depth chart at cornerback. Currently have Diamador Lenore listed as a nickelback. I'm going to fix that because I wasn't sure who was going to start this next week. But then you obviously also have Womack. Probably have to do some shuffling there to make it accurate, although the 49ers might do some shuffling of their own ahead of the Kansas City game this week, given the fact that they didn't get great play from Samuel Womack against the Atlanta Falcons. But Hallman is on the practice squad alongside Dante Johnson. Jason Verrett still on IR. His window to return from IR is still open, so we'll see how that works out. And that leads me right into a 49ers injury update. The sheet right here shows you who's hurt. On the very right, darker pink, you have the 49ers injured reserve list. That's who's officially on IR. And then here on the left side, this is the 53-man roster, but in pink, you have players who currently have injury issues highlighted. So I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we can go through all the players who are listed in pink. Tyler Kroft is actually on his way back. He might lose the pink designation this week, coming from the sprained MCL. Charlie Werner suffered a shoulder sprain, AC joint sprain in Atlanta. He's day-to-day. Trent Williams, he's been out for a while, high ankle sprain. There's a good chance that he's on his way back this week. That would be huge for the 49ers against the Chiefs. Mike McGlinchey is day-to-day after a calf contusion in Atlanta. Good chance that he also will be back, which would be good, big news for the 49ers. Moving down here, Nick Bosa. 49ers, obviously want him back against the Chiefs. There is a good chance of that happening. He has some groin tightness. Eric Armstead, not a good chance of him being back against the Chiefs. He's dealing with that foot injury, so that's a potentially big loss for the 49ers. And if you don't have Armstead, you hope that you at least have Bosa. Ebukam, Achilles, tendonitis, I think that he'll probably be back. And Drake Jackson, a knee sprain, I think he'll probably be back. Charvarius Ward, another big one for this game against the Chiefs. Charvarius Ward is dealing with the groin injury day-to-day. To me, it sounds like Kyle Shanahan is optimistic that Charvarius Ward will be back against his former team. That's also important for the 49ers. Talanoa Hufanga down here is in the concussion protocol. 49ers are holding their breath on that one because you don't know where the concussion protocol is going to go. I can't say if that's likely or not. And then Jimmy Ward, unlikely this week, but there's a chance he comes back the week after that with a club on the hand, the broken hand that was repaired by surgery. So that's a run through of the 49ers injury situation. Again, those of you who are joining, 49ers brought back quarterback Kurt Benkert. They needed to make some room for a backup kicker, Sam Sloman, the other week after Robbie Gould went down against Carolina. They temporarily did make that room, but now they have a chance to bring Benkert back. And they also brought back Kadar Hallman to increase that cornerback depth, because Hallman was with this team earlier, but obviously now with Buddy Johnson, the linebacker out of Texas A&M released, there is room for Hallman, and there also obviously is room for Kurt Benkert. All right, let's go to a quick 49ers Q&A. I know that I've been on for 5 minutes just discussing a couple injuries, but I'll take 2 or 3 questions here, and we'll go from there. Armstead is so important. Tough injury for a big man to come back from. Yes, the foot injury is tough. There might be 2 foot injuries. They said plantar fasciitis, and then Shanahan said it was a separate issue that ended up pushing him out during the Rams game, and he's been out since then. But Armstead is needed. The 49ers need big, long, strong defensive tackles, and they have neither Armstead nor Kinlaw right now. Hello to Riverside, California. Any truth to the Christian McCaffrey rumor? Yes. The 49ers would be interested in acquiring Christian McCaffrey at the right price. Anybody in their right mind would be. McCaffrey, I think, would fit really well into Shanahan's offense as a dual threat, right? I mean, he could beat linebackers, he could beat safeties in the pass game, and 49ers are always looking for running backs. However, McCaffrey's only played in a total of 10 games over the past 2 seasons, the 2 preceding seasons to this one. And the 49ers are an injury-plagued team, so you can't pay too much for him. The report that Carolina wants 2 first-round picks, Bill O'Brien is no longer in the league. He's Alabama's offensive coordinator. I don't know if you have somebody that's going to overpay for a running back in that way. But the 49ers, I mean, they have 2 third-round picks, the conditional ones next year. They have a 4th-rounder. I don't even think that parting ways with the 2nd-rounder would be smart. One thing about Christian McCaffrey is that financially he would actually come cheap. It would be manageable because he restructured his deal a while back with Carolina, and he's only owed the base veteran minimum salary this year, $1.035 million. So if you were to trade for Christian McCaffrey this week, if you're the 49ers, you'd only owe him $646,000 on the 2022 cap. And then he doesn't have any guaranteed money in the years beyond that. So you would have leverage to restructure a deal. But you just wouldn't want to give up too much draft capital now for him, because I think it would be like a 1-year rental, something like Emmanuel Sanders, right? Emmanuel Sanders commanded a 3rd and a 4th round pick from the 49ers, and Denver sent back a 5th rounder. So I think McCaffrey would cost a little bit more than Sanders at 26 years old. So I'd just say a 3rd and 4th rounder without the 5th round pick thrown back in there in reverse. And you would see if you can get him for this year. And then you would probably have exclusive negotiating rights, at least for the first part of the offseason with Christian McCaffrey. But I don't know if anybody would be ready to stomach a non-guaranteed 11 or so million, I think it's $11.8 million cap hit for 2023, unless he went completely gangbusters in this season. Do I think the 49ers will go after Sue? I went to Sue's Instagram. Looks like he's still in good shape. I think they should try to go after Sue. I think they should see what Ndamukong Suh is interested in right now, because if Armstead is a question mark, if Kinlaw is a question mark, I think they need more firepower at that defensive tackle position. And Suh was has long been part of some really good run defenses in the National Football League. Other hidden gem they could trade for is Derek Brown, if the Panthers are willing to give him up, the defensive tackle. But, there are rumors that the Panthers want to hold a fire sale. Then there are rumors that they don't. And then there's obviously foundational pieces that I think they would be silly to trade, Brown being one of them, even if they are holding a fire sale, because you still have team control for this guy for a couple of years. And if you are rebuilding, well, why not keep a good piece around which you can rebuild? So with trades, I typically like to wait until something actually happens, because the rumor mill is going to go crazy. But the 49ers, they may want to add a piece, because there definitely are weaknesses on this football team, especially because of the injury situation right now. Should the Packers be sellers? I don't know. I mean, Green Bay, their receivers can't get any separation. That's the problem. But they still have Aaron Rodgers, and it might be, as any year could be Aaron Rodgers last year. So it's still a little early to make that judgment. Like the 49ers, the Packers are 3-3. A lot of teams just kind of ambling around, jockeying for position. Then we'll see who catches fire here as October turns into November. You're not yours says, I hope the 49ers will be able to keep Ayuk. He's starting to boom. Yeah, Ayuk is getting open. He's developing some separation, and he had 8 catches for 83 yards, I think, to pace the 49ers in Atlanta. And I think he needs to be a big part of the game plan again against the Chiefs, who have a low-ranked pass defense, number 27 in the league. So the 49ers can keep pace. If they do keep pace with the Chiefs, I think some explosiveness is going to be required in this game. All right, guys, that's enough for me right now. 10-minute show. The 49ers have re-signed Kurt Benkert. Just wanted to give you a quick update. I'll be back with a little bit more, some Jimmy Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan stuff later. So set the notifications on so you know when I do come back on. And everybody have a good rest of your Tuesday. Take care.